Mistakes and Regrets, the story of MySpace and Facebook. In the early 2000s, if you were online and trying to be somebody, you were probably on MySpace. Back then, MySpace was more than just a website, it was the internet's version of a stage, a diary, and a dance floor all in one. You could upload music, customize your profile with flashy HTML codes, rank your friends, and write moody blog posts about the song lyrics that best defined your existence. But then came Facebook. And just like that, MySpace became a cautionary tale. A digital ghost town. A monument to how fast the internet can turn fame into failure. This is not just a story of two tech companies. It's a story about choices, missteps, egos, vision, and the regret of not evolving when the future knocks on your door. If this story already has you leaning in, don't scroll past, smash that like button to show some love. And if you're into powerful breakdowns of where ambition meets downfall, hit subscribe and ring the bell. You'll never miss a moment where history, mistakes, and hard truths collide. In 2003, MySpace launched as a social networking site built on the foundation of another failed startup, Friendster. Friendster had the concept but struggled with performance and growth. MySpace, sensing an opportunity, borrowed its best features and left the glitches behind. Within a year, MySpace had captured the imagination of teenagers, musicians, and creatives. The profile page was your digital bedroom wall. You could decorate it, fill it with music, pictures, and personality. No two pages looked alike. And that was the beauty of it, it was chaotic, expressive, and oh so early 2000s. But with great power comes great responsibility, or in this case, great vulnerability. By 2005, MySpace had become the most visited social networking site in the world. That same year, it was acquired by News Corporation, Rupert Murdoch's media empire, for $580 million. It was a big win, or so it seemed. Because around the same time, in the dorm rooms of Harvard, Mark Zuckerberg had launched a small project called the Facebook.com. It was cleaner, simpler, and exclusive to college students. No flashing GIFs. No auto-playing music. No HTML. Just you, your friends, and your real name. Zuckerberg wasn't trying to build a social playground. He was building a social utility. While MySpace prioritized customization, Facebook prioritized connection. And that one difference would change everything. As Facebook began to open its doors to the public, it quickly exposed the weaknesses in MySpace's empire. Here's where the first big regret enters the chat. 1. MySpace focused on monetization before innovation. After being bought by News Corp, MySpace was pushed to generate revenue. That meant more ads, more data collection, more clutter. The platform began to feel less like a community and more like a billboard. Meanwhile, Facebook was deliberately holding back from monetization, focusing instead on product development and user trust. Zuckerberg famously turned down early offers to sell Facebook because he believed the platform could become much more. 2. MySpace didn't prioritize user experience. Sure, MySpace gave users freedom to design their pages, but it also came at a cost: slow load times, buggy layouts, and a chaotic interface. For casual users and newcomers, it was a mess. Facebook, by contrast, was clean, standardized, and reliable. Everyone's profile looked the same, which might have seemed boring, but it was intuitive. It was scalable. It was built to last. 3. Leadership failure. While Facebook had a small, focused team led by a founder with a clear vision, MySpace was pulled in different directions by corporate interests, internal politics, and a lack of long-term strategy. One former MySpace employee described the culture as a bunch of smart kids without adult supervision. By the time MySpace tried to course-correct, it was already too late. Between 2007 and 2009, Facebook's user base exploded. MySpace began to hemorrhage users, especially young people. Artists and creators who once relied on MySpace for discovery were now moving to Facebook, and later, to platforms like YouTube and Twitter. In a desperate attempt to stay relevant, MySpace tried to rebrand as an entertainment hub rather than a social network. They partnered with Justin Timberlake, launched a new UI, and leaned heavily into music. But the users were gone. And in the digital world, when the people leave, so does everything else. By 2011, MySpace was sold again, this time for just $35 million. That's nearly 94% less than its value at the time of its peak. A slow, humiliating fall from grace. Now let's contrast that with Facebook. Zuckerberg turned down acquisition offers, even from Yahoo at $1 billion. He refused to compromise on design. He took bold moves, launching the news feed, which people hated at first, acquiring Instagram, pushing into mobile, and later, into the metaverse. Facebook, of course, hasn't been free from mistakes. Data privacy scandals like Cambridge Analytica, controversial content moderation policies, and accusations of fueling misinformation have tarnished its image. Many people now look at Facebook with skepticism or even hostility. But, and this is crucial, Facebook survived its crises. It adapted. It changed its name to Meta. It diversified into new platforms. It kept evolving, even if not everyone liked the direction. MySpace didn't. And that's the core regret in this story. MySpace had the first-mover advantage, the audience, the momentum, and they blew it. They failed to listen to users. They failed to adapt to change. They failed to innovate when it mattered. In hindsight, some might say the fall of MySpace was inevitable. But that's not quite true. Many companies have reinvented themselves, Apple in the 2000s, Netflix shifting from DVDs to streaming, even Microsoft under Satya Nadella. Reinvention is possible. But it requires courage, clarity, and a long-term mindset. MySpace, stuck between user chaos and corporate pressure, chose short-term profit over long-term innovation. And they lost the internet. But before you laugh off MySpace as just a relic of early social media, remember this: history repeats itself. Look around you. TikTok is rising. Instagram is aging. Twitter is, well, Twitter. New platforms will always come. Some giants today may be fossils tomorrow. The real question is, who's making the same mistakes MySpace did right now? Who's too slow to innovate? Too distracted by ads? Too arrogant to listen? Because the next big fall might not come from a place you expect, it might come from one of today's tech titans. So what can we learn from all of this? Innovation over imitation. MySpace stopped innovating. Facebook never did. Simplicity over customization. In a world of growing users, clarity beats chaos. Vision over popularity. Being cool is temporary. Being essential is forever. Adapt or die. The internet doesn't wait for anyone. Not even kings. If you made it this far, you already know we're not here just to tell stories, we're here to break them down, learn from them, and grow. So if you love content that digs deeper than headlines, content that asks what really went wrong, and content that challenges how you think about success and failure, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of Mistakes and Regrets. Also, drop a comment below. Do you think MySpace could have survived? Or was Facebook always going to win? Until next time, remember, every platform, every company, every empire is just one bad decision away from becoming a memory. Don't be the next MySpace. Thank you for watching.